Mr. President, I got U-2s in one hand, I have B-52s in the other. It's up to you which I'm going to use.
Because if you cause me to start a bombing campaign, your country will never be the way you see it today again. And in fact, we ought to stop the negotiations now, and you ought to go out and ride around Belgrade. Because the way it is today, it will never be that way again. And I generally believe that.
Milosevic agreed to an immediate ceasefire.
Dogovori koje smo postigli u celini su u skladu sa interesima.
He agreed to allow international observers into Kosovo and to limit his troop numbers. It seemed that the threat of force had worked.
Na Kosovu I Metohiji.
But Milosevic had another reason for agreeing to the ceasefire. His fight, he believed, was over for now. He had completed his military task.
Likvidirana sva teroristička jezgra, razbijeni teroristi koji su u najvećem broju ili predali oružje, ili su ostavili oružje I pobegli van Kosmeta.
Milosevic pulled his troops back to barracks. Diplomacy backed by force appeared to be the way to deal with him. But it was a miscalculation. When the Allies were to try it again just 4 months later, it would lead them to war.
He was part of the American diplomatic policy that was occurring, which had vilified Slobodan Milosevic, demonized the Serbian administration, and generally was providing diplomatic support to the UÇK or the KLA leadership.
Walker's ceasefire monitors drove round Kosovo in brightly coloured orange vehicles. Their job was to watch as Milosevic withdrew his police and returned his troops to barracks. In the beginning he complied. The German General Klaus Naumann had helped broker the ceasefire deal.
He really did what we had asked him to do. He withdrew within 48 hours some 6,000 police officers and the military back into the barracks. This was also confirmed by the OSCE verification mission.
This, though, was much harder to monitor. Where the Serbs withdrew, the KLA moved forward, filling the vacuum. But the ceasefire agreement had a fatal flaw. It was one-sided. It had required nothing verifiable from the KLA.
Ja zakonist do bivšem planieren na Munsajiće, to je organizovan, konsolidovan, tritem praktično, ni organizative, ni kvalitative, ni kvantitative.
They were really growing ever stronger from day to day, and there was nobody to really stop them.
Kemi pununke drejtim që sama në si përfaqe sa më të zera, po në tërë Kosovën formohen njësit ushtrishin të Kosovës, formohen qelizat e ushtrishin të Kosovës.
At Podujevo in the north of Kosovo, the KLA now filled the very positions the Serbs had vacated. The pattern was repeated across the province. William Walker's deputy was a British general. He and his colleagues could see what the KLA was doing, but had no means of stopping or even discouraging it.
The Kosovo Liberation Army infiltrated forward.
The KLA basically came back into its old positions that they held before the summer offensive.
And this then started to be a factor in dealing with the Serbs, because the Serbs said to us, well, hang on, the deal was that we withdrew from these things and you were going to police the agreement. So can you just get these Kosovo Liberation Army out of the trenches that we were in a month ago?
But they couldn't.